Number 20 on our test review. The instructions for this one say solve each equation by taking the square roots. So we are quadratic functions, square root method notes, and we have some steps to follow. Our first step is to isolate the x squared. So let's do that here. That means that we need to get x squared completely by itself. Right now it's being multiplied by 64 and 4 is added to it. So I need to get it by itself. Remember, we have to take care of the adding and subtracting first before we can deal with the number that's being multiplied. Since this is adding 4, we're going to subtract 4 to both sides. So 29 minus 4 is 25 on this side, and we're left with 64x squared. Now I need to divide out the 64, and this leaves me with x squared, and here we have 25 divided by 64. We're going to leave that like this. We haven't done an example with fractions yet, and I think that on your test you're going to see questions more like this. However, this is a possibility. So we're going to leave it as 25 divided by 64. Then remember, we're going to take the square root. Step number 2, take square root of both sides. So I'm going to take the square root of this one and the square root of this one. And remember how we take the square root is we put a square root and we list all of the factors underneath. Here's something we didn't talk about when we were taking the square root. If I've got a fraction underneath my square root, really, I've got, let me put that here. This really is the square root of 25 and the square root of 64. So if I've got a fraction underneath my radical, then I can separate those on top of each other. So what are the prime factors of 25? If I don't know off the top of my head, I can put that into the calculator, but that is 5 times 5. And my factors of 64 are 6 2's. Okay, now remember with our radicals, to simplify, I need to pull out my pairs. So on this side, I'm pulling out 1x. On this side, on top of here, I'm pulling out a 5. And then what do we got here? We got a 2, we got a 2, and a 2. So I'm pulling out 3 2's, which is 8. 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. So our answer is plus or minus 5/8.